How's it going, everybody? Gold Hat here, and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be entry 13 of my Assassin's Creed Valhalla walkthrough guide, and in this entry we are going to be focusing on the mission Taken for Granted. So picking up right where we left off, we have completed the East Anglia arc, and we have already completed the Granton-Briggshire arc with Soma, and we have completed the Leicestershire arc with the Sons of Ragnar. So we are going to head back to Ravensthorpe and hand back our East Anglia arc to Randvi, and once we get to the Longhouse, we are going to have a dispute with two of the villagers, which we are going to cover now, and I will talk to you right after.
I heard shouting. Is something wrong?
Holger robbed me, and I demand he be punished.
Raw disappointed word. Does the deer rub the stream when she takes a drink? Does a cow rub a field when he crops on sweet grass?
Eivor, this matter requires sensitive judgment. Will you?
Of course. From the beginning, please.
Well now, there is no excuse too small, I see. Nothing to keep you from coveting that seat, is there?
In Sigurd's absence, who has better claim to oversee these disputes?
You might leave them to work it out for themselves, but that would mean letting go, would it not?
Please start again. Tell me all that has happened.
I will start. I have been falsely accused by this Saxon Philistine.
A filly what? Are you mocking me?
Silence, please. I'll hear both of your complaints and render a decision, awarding compensation if needed. Understood? Rowan, tell me your version of these events.
As you are aware, Holger and I are neighbors. Near enough that I often catch him at my stables, stealing my tools.
Borrowing.
Holger, let him speak.
Stealing, borrowing. My point being, I have always allowed him to use whatever he pleased. I greatly admire your Norse generosity and had hoped to match it. But this morning, Holger stretched the limits of my grace. Entering my stables for their feed, I found my most beautiful, gentle mare stripped of her tail. Bereft, not a strand in sight. I am ashamed to say my natural suspicion drew me to Holger, and how right I was. For when I peered across the lane, there he was, gripping a horsetail brush slathered with indigo, dragging it across a sheet of
Painting, Rowan. I was painting. You make it sound so crude.
You see? Such willful arrogance. It will take ages for Ilgafur's tail to reach its former length. I demand compensation.
I understand. Thank you, Rowan. Holger, let me hear your side.
Eivor, you have known me as a skald for years. You have seen how my poems bring life and joy and wisdom to our people. And you know that my work requires a certain, let us say, freedom to make use of rare resources to compose my verses. Often when lacking the proper tools, I have made use of novel items. Alvis's walking stick, Tovi's inks, all were given gladly.
You cut off my horse's tail to make a brush, you bleeding...
Rowan?
As I was saying, this morning in the throes of poetic reverie, I realized that my latest piece required delicate brushwork. I could have used a frayed stick, some cloth, my hands, but no. I needed something gentler, softer. To make a perfect brush, I needed the fine hairs of a well-raised horse. And so I availed myself of a local resource.
You clipped Alfgafur's tail to the rump, without asking.
It was early. I did not wish to wake you.
Thank you, Holger. I believe I understand your position. I believe I have heard enough. If you will...
My horse looks like a fool, Eivor. No handsomer than a donkey now. You must do something.
Do not conflate hair with beauty, Rowan. She remains radiant. Elgifur's hair will grow back in no time.
Quiet, both of you. Now listen.
So we will have a choice here, and there are two choices, Rowan or Holger. I'm going to go ahead and go with Rowan, and we are ready to sum up this mission. But overall, this decision will not mess with anything throughout the game. It will not reward you with anything. It will just change the dialogue that's said here, and then we can move on, and nothing will be said about this again.
You took without asking, and that will not do. As the horse's value has diminished significantly, you will pay Rowan its market price.
But the horse was not for sale. Rowan, admit it.
My decision is final, Holger. Pay what you owe and meet tomorrow as friends.
And if I do, may I keep the horse?
Pay the man and be done with it. Rowan, does this satisfy you?
It does. Thank you, Eivor.
Good. Then by Tyr's blessing, let this matter rest. We are done here. Return to your homes in peace.
That's a damn fine stable we have now.
And that will close out mane and tail. Now we can go back to Ranvi and go to the Ark map. But first, we are going to talk to her, and she is going to give us another little quest that we are going to take care of real quick.
Holger, he is quite a character.
I almost envy him. To see the world through such a muddy glass and live with such petty concerns. He hasn't a care in the world.
Let's not walk too far with that idea. I need you right where you are.
East Anglia is with us. Their King Oswald has pledged his loyalty to us.
Eivor Kingmaker, we shall call you soon. Some interesting news. King Ceolwulf has sent Ceolbert to Shropshire. He hopes to install him as Ealdorman there.
Good for Ceolbert. He should do well considering all he has learned from you.
I gave him only a taste of my knowledge. One more thing. It has been rough on her.
So now we have the quest carrying the torch, which we need to go speak to Tovi. I'm going to go ahead and show you that quest real quick. That is going to be in Ravensthorpe. We're just going to run out there real quick to the little graveyard and talk to her real quick. Her father just died, and we can sail right through this mission and go back to Ranvi.
You are the only father.
Tovi.
Eivor, it's Sven. He passed while I was away.
Tovi, I'm sorry I wasn't there.
No one was. We had planned to brand Tekla's barrels that morning, and we talked about what we might have for supper. And when I went to collect him, he was in his bed. Sleeping, I thought. But he was already gone.
I'm sure he went in peace.
But he went with plans. Things he wanted to do, things he meant to do. His death was so empty. Not like in our stories.
What stories do you mean?
When we tell stories, the old and wise, they have this calm about them. They know when their end has come and they're ready. Sven wasn't ready. And I wasn't ready either. He was supposed to teach me things. I'm still learning. Everyone looks at me like I will simply carry on his work. As if nothing happened. Because they don't know. They don't know I'm not ready.
Life may ask more of us than we are prepared to give. But all we can do is our best. I was not prepared to lose my parents. But in a flash, they were taken from me. I pressed on, determined to live.
That must have been punishing. But you are so strong and so determined.
Someone else might have done better than me, or worse. This was the fate woven for me, so I live it. I know Sven believed in you, in your craft. So do you believe in him? Do you trust him?
He was the most skilled artist I have ever known.
And he chose you. You may step up or step down, whatever you decide. But know that he had faith in you.
Thank you, Eivor. I need to get home.
So that will conclude carrying the torch. To be honest with you, this is just some villager dialogue and we are getting a couple skill points out of this. So it is a win-win situation for us, but it is not for Toby. But we're going to go ahead and go back to Randvi and talk to her. And this is when Taken for Granted is going to be coming into play. And I'm going to explain that mission as soon as we get there. So now that we can talk to Anvi and we have completed 3 arcs, now we have the option to ask, are you all right? And we want to do this, but we do not want to sleep with her. This is going to be one of the big 5 decisions in the game that will reflect the outcome. And if you want the good outcome, we have to say no to sleeping with her when the time comes. We're going to cover this whole mission. All we want to do is keep pressing her on the are you all right? It might be a bug in the game why we have to ask it a couple times. I'm not sure, but you just want to keep pressing that until you can take her to Granton Brigshire, which I'm going to do now. And we're just going to ride there with her and we're going to cover that.
But I can get you out of this room. What do you say?
I don't know. There's much work to be done.
Stop. Forget about alliances and responsibility for just a few hours. We could take a ride to Grandebridge or somewhere nearby for a change of pace.
That sounds lovely. And too far to consider just now. But thank you, Eivor. Maybe another time. Now, what was it you needed?
Randvi, take a break. Let's make for Grandebridgeshire and get you out of this musty room.
Do you mean now? Right now?
Of course. You said you were tired of all this, so why not? Stretch your legs and fill your lungs.
I did ask, didn't I? You're right. Lead the way, Eivor.
Follow me.
So once we leave the longhouse, just call for your horse and Randvi will actually jump on the back of your horse and you can just ride to Granton Brigshire, which we are going to take care of now.
Not at all. So long as I get some air and sun, I will be fine. I spend too much of my day in the longhouse.
We'll need to cross the river at some point if we want to enter Grandebridgeshire. If you know a better way, I would love to hear it.
Is swimming not an option?
Swimming? I don't know. Are you joking?
A boat or a horse would always do, but I'm not opposed to the more traditional methods. It really is lovely here. I have not been this far east of the settlement. Isn't that awful?
You think safety awful?
To live one's life in so small a pen. Hear stories from you and scouts without ever venturing further. Gods, do you smell that? The earth and the air. It is good to be out here. Eivor, there. What is that?
This is where the Summer Army retreated when Grandebridge was lost. They seem to have resettled the city in full now.
Right, right. I know this land so well by its map, but to see it in person brings it to stunning life. A Roman marvel. I will not soon forget this sight.
And here we are. Welcome to Grantebridge. We should make our way to the Longhouse.
Oh, it's bigger than I imagined. Rustic, woody, beautiful. And everything seems quite new.
Under Soma's guidance, the Summer Army built this town up from a small village. They wanted a hub for trade near London, and a launching point for incursions into Wessex.
Well, it is impressive. Some interesting architectural ideas here too.
Well. It's been quite a while since I've seen your face around here.
I know you, I think. One of Soma's loyal men. Magni, is it?
Yeah, good memory.
Good to see you again. This is Randvi, a dear friend and a sturdy fighter.
Well met, Randy. Eivor seems to have a preference for befriending lovely women.
You know, I noticed the same thing.
I expected more people about Magni. Has something happened?
Someone rounded up some warriors and took them west. She's hoping to open a new trade route with Ox and the Vod there. Only now, in times of trouble, I have discovered I am not the surrogate leader I should hope to be.
What sort of trouble?
Oh, a pack of surly bandits have encamped nearby. To the east of the water's edge. They attack all merchants who travel here by river or road, and word is spreading quickly. It's keeping traders at bay.
That could cripple your town if it carries on too long.
It's crippled me already. The bastard stole my horse yesterday morning.
So what will
We can take care of them, Magni. And if we don't find your horse, we will steal you a new one.
Well, that would ease my mind. I have nothing to offer you for this deed, but the bandits surely would. Take from them what you like.
Good. Consider the matter handled. Eivor, come. We have a camp to raid. The bandits are camped on the river, he said.
So for this objective in Taken for Granted, we are just going to go eliminate those bandits. I'm going to go ahead and take Randvi with us. She will automatically come with you, so do not worry. And we're just going to go kill those bandits. She will take the horse back, and we just have to follow. And I will talk to you right after that.
Well, no? I have always wanted to experience the world as you do, and now I will. Unless you have a more interesting day planned for us.
We will help Magni and clear these bandits. But do not be rash when we find them. The Raven clan needs your steady hand.
Yes, indeed, my lord. I shall follow your order to the letter.
If I did not know any better, I would say you're teasing me.
Oh, certainly not, Eivor wolf-kissed iron-fisted Drenger. I would never tease one with such commanding authority. There, the bandit camp.
Stay close and do as I do.
Only at the horizon?
By all means.
I thought you wanted to do this in secret.
You seemed hot for a battle, so here we go. Thor.
That's done. Now to deliver Magni his horse. That was a thrill, Eivor. We are champions of Grantbridge. Do you know of any other towns that need liberating?
You don't think we have had enough drama for one day? We should return to the settlement.
Or we could have a drink, to celebrate our victory.
At home, Tekla has all the mead and ale we could want.
Eivor, our outing has hardly begun. Fine.
Hey!
Eivor, our outing has hardly begun. Find us an alehouse and let us make ourselves at home.
Let's return the horse, and if your thirst remains, we'll look around. Magni, we solved your bandit problem.
Did you? Well done! And did you find my sweet mare?
Your horse is outside waiting for you.
Thank the gods he is safe. And thank you, Eivor. And your friend Randvi, wherever she is.
She's here somewhere.
Eivor! Over here! Look at this!
Oh! Someone...
What are you playing at?
A drinking contest. You versus me. Wolf-kissed versus Table Maiden.
Ranvi, we can do better than Table Maiden.
Mead Queen, then.
All right, let us drink.
Beautiful.
Droolmonger. You're a bit green, friend.
Randvi's done you better.
There, you see. You should not have tried to outdrink me, Ranvi. It cannot be done.
Strange. I see your lips moving so rapidly, yet all I hear is, "Thank you, Randvi."
So, are you satisfied? My head is ringing like a bell.
More than satisfied. Now come, we'll ride this off and take in the air as we head home. After just one more stop.
Ranvi.
It's a sunken tower near a waterfall, close to home. We can stop for a look, and then you are free of me. It's near the highest point of a hill, just south of the settlement. Easy to spot, I'm sure.
All right, one last stop then.
I know it might not show, Eivor, but I am terribly excited.
Oh, it shows.
Leaving already? Well, I do hope to see you again. Randvi, return any time.
I might have to, Magni. Thank you for everything.
No!
Next up in our objectives, we need to bring Randvi to the sunken tower, which is going to be highlighted in our map. We're just going to head that direction now on horseback. Once we get there, we are going to climb up there, and I will talk to you through the dialogue and explain to you what choice you need to make.
Ranvi, Slayer of bandits, breaker of hearts.
I will sound it with pride. Sunniva described this tower for me. A desolate yet peaceful place. I am eager to see it.
After a full day of action, finally you wish to calm down.
I've had my fill of adventure. Time for a little rest. I was wondering something. You and Soma. Was there something more to your bond? You spoke of her with a particular shine in your eyes.
We grew very close very quickly. Is that what you mean?
No, I mean, did something happen between you two?
What sort of question is that?
An innocent one. Innocent as a newborn babe.
Nothing happened between us. That is my answer.
I find that disappointing. If I were you, I might have tested the waters. Eivor, entangled by a hardy Jarlskona as she leads her army to victory and prosperity. A rather appealing match.
I'm going to pretend your last words were taken by the wind, Randvi.
If you must. Look there! That must be the tower. Take the bridge. Just as beautiful as Sunniva's stories tell. Can you imagine how it looked when it was first built, hundreds of winters ago? Sometimes when looking at a map, I imagine little people in their little armies, traversing the land. And now, staring at these ruins, I imagine people of old, how they lived, never knowing what would become of their monuments.
You have a fertile imagination.
I want a view from the top. Shall we?
Lead on.
Keep up!
Mind where you put your fingers. These stones are old and weathered. You climb well for one who folds maps.
You jest, but I have raised the frames of longhouses and hammered the ribs of longships. My hands are calloused from hard work. Well, well. A stunning view. It reminds me of my early years in Norway. How I used to climb the hills beyond the wood.
You have an adventurous heart. I hardly see it behind the table, but now I've watched you scale a tower in furs, soaking wet.
I was rowdy in my youth. Hunting, sailing. I was a wildling of the open air before I became this staunch and stoic woman. Married off in service of peace between two clans. A noble and worthy role, but not one I had ever imagined for myself.
You would have made a fine wandering warrior. A Jomsvikinger. Free to come and go as she pleased.
I think so too. It may be we would have sailed together over the open seas, raiding or traveling.
Or faced each other on the field of battle. Without your marriage to Sigurd, to secure peace, our clans might still be at war.
True. Very true. Thank you for today. Every bit of it has been a dream, and I'm not keen to wake.
Then don't. We can stay here as long as you like.
Yes.
What was that?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. I got away from myself.
No need to apologize.
Sigurd is your brother, and I have put you in a very difficult position. The heart does not do politics like the head.
It may be the meat, it may be the air, but there is no need to apologize.
I am sober enough. But the truth of it is, I have felt this way for some time now.
So the choice here that we have to make is going to be I don't want to, which is now is not the right time. Now, we can romance her later when Sigurd breaks up with her. But if we do this now or do this before Sigurd breaks up with her, this is going to be counting for one of the big decisions in the game, which there are 5. If you strike out 3 times on these, you will not get the good ending, which we want the good ending in this walkthrough guide. So we are just going to go ahead and say now is not the right time. But you can romance her later, and that will be right after Sigurd breaks up with her, and then you can do that. But there are other options to romance her before Sigurd does, and if you do those, that will break one of the strikes, and that will break the good ending, and you do not want that.
If it is all the same to you.
I would like that. Randvi? Must have returned to the settlement.
So now we have completed Taken for Granted, and I'm going to change back to Ravensthorpe, and I'm going to show you how you can romance her again before Sigurd breaks up with her, just in case you are wondering, so you don't make that mistake. We're just going to head back there real quick, and we're going to go look at that arc map, and that is where we will see it.
You look well. Eivor.
Randvi, why did you leave? We could have returned together.
We could have, but I was restless. A quiet walk alone clears the head. And you do snore a little, like a wounded bear.
That's a lie.
I had a wonderful time, Eivor. Thank you for your company and your friendship.
And you for yours.
So once we want to look at the arc map, there will be a second option again, and that will be I want to talk about us. If you click that, that will count as a strike, and that is what you do not want. So just wait for Sigurd to break up with her, and then we can romance her. But overall, we have now completed Taken for Granted, and in our next entry, we are going to be starting our next arc. So this is going to be wrapping up entry 13. As always, I hope this walkthrough guide has been super helpful. If it has been, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. If you have any questions at any time, feel free to drop a comment down below, or you can hit me up personally on my Instagram. The link is in the description box, and I will see you guys next time. Goldhat, signing off.